Hey guys, it's Abby, and today is the last day of March until it is April. Technically, for us in Newfoundland, spring, because the snow is just starting to melt now. There's also a cat in the shot. If you have not read what this video is basically about, I'm going to be basically doing my March wrap up and my April TBR. And I don't know how many books yet, but let's get started with the video. So I'm going to put the ones that were in my March TBR up here and the ones that were not over here, because I actually have a lot that were not in here. Before I get started, my problem is this. If I see a cool book that I really want to read, I read it before my TBR, so that's my problem. Just get that out of the way before we start. Okay. So the first book I read this month was Vampire Addiction by Ava Poehler. I read the audiobook of it. Well, not the audiobook. I read the ebook of it, and it'll be in the description below if you guys want to read it. It's 100% free. I actually got it from the author herself. This book takes place in Greece and with vampires and demigods, so if you like the Lightning Thief, you like this. I'm going to try and keep the description of the book really short because I don't want to make you sit for longer than you have to. Second book I read was Angel Fall by Susan E. This book is in a post-apocalyptic world where angels are descending on Earth and humans don't really like angels because of the apocalypse, basically. I actually read this book the audiobook through YouTube, so I'll put the link in the description below if you guys want to read it if you haven't, because most of you probably have. The third book I read was Broken Wings, and this was actually on my March TBR during February. Yes, that's right. I think. No. This book, I can't really explain this book because I'll kind of give away the first book. It's the second book to the Angel series by Shannon Diddlemore. So if you guys want to check that out, maybe. Oh god. The third book I read was The Forever Song by Julie Kagawa. I'll actually put a box around it because I did a book talk about it. It's the third book to the Immortal Rules series, which is this book right here, not anything up here. So yeah, if you want to check that out, click up here. And if you can't get any of these adaptations, I'll put the link in the description below and with the Goodreads page if it's not an audio or ebook. The fifth book, I'm pretty sure, was The Lost Night by Janet Castle, I think. Basically, this book is about, these people have powers, but they don't call them powers, they call them talents, and there's this preserve, which people never really come back out of if you go in. And it's actually really good. I read this book in one day. If you want to check out that, I'll put the Goodreads thing around it and in the description below. The fifth book, I think I'm saying these right, I don't even know, is Sight Unseen by Iris and Roy Jensen. This is a mother-son book who wrote it. This is a mother and son who wrote the book. This basically is about a girl named Kendra who, in the first book, I never got to read the first book. I'm going to go read it because I didn't know this was the second book. Basically, was blind until the age of 20. And then they had a surgery and she got her sight back. So she has this heightened sentence and helped the FBI and everything. It's actually a really cool book. It's not anything fake. Well, it's fiction, but not like werewolves and everything. It's actually just mysterious and a thriller. So if you guys want to check that out, Goodreads page would be around the thing and in the description below. And the final book I read this month is White Heart by Sarah Dalton. This book was so good. I read this as an ebook through Amazon. I'll put the link description below and around the words. This is basically, it's kind of a lot like The Lost Night, but The Lost Night is in a forward universe, kind of like 2020, and the White Heart is about 1966 or something. It's kind of the same. There's a forest with a bunch of magic in it, and people really come out of the forest again because of these half-breed animals, because the magic got crazy in there. And there's one person, the Craftborn, who could bring magic back to the world, and there's this person who's faking to be the Craftborn, and there's actually the person who's the Craftborn. It's very, 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 yeah. So the number of books I read this month will be right here. I don't know if that's a lot compared to what most people read, but the first book I have for April TBR is Crescendo, I'm pretty sure, by Becca Fitzpatrick. I had this on my last TBR, just didn't really get around to it. I started reading it and it got me so mad. I literally am only here. It got me so mad that I had to stop reading it and read other books to make me happy again. So I really want to finish this because there's two more books in the series. This is the second book to the Hush Hush series. Becca Fitzpatrick is probably one of my favorite authors, but this book got me so mad, so I really want to finish this book. The next book I have for my April TBR is Legend by Mary Lou. I read The Young Elite, and I really loved it. And I know this is a completely different book. I know it's completely different style, completely different characters, completely different tale, basically. But I love her sense of writing so much, and a lot of people have read this book, and I want to get on that wagon because I really feel like this is going to be such a good book. Polar Banana Books loves it, aka Christine, and I really want to read this book for this month. I've been dying to actually read it. I've actually stopped myself so many times. I'm like, Abby, you can't read this until you tell everyone you're reading it for April. Do not read it until April. And it was like, but this is one of my books. The next book I have is Shadowland by Alison Knoll. This is the third book to like the Evermore series. Actually, it's called The Immortals, I guess. I don't know. I have read the first two books, Evermore, then Blue Moon. This is the third book to the series. I really want to read these series because my best friend Jenna is one book ahead of me, and I want to catch up to her or beat her because we're like in a competition for this series because she read the series before me, and I really want to beat her. The next book on my TBR list for April is Of Triton by Anna Banks. I read Of Poseidon like over the summer when I was with my dad, and I've wanted to read this series for so long, and I finally found Of Triton. The last book kind of left on a cliffhanger, so I really wanted to read this series and finish it because it's only 3 books. They're actually really short and fast and fun, so I really want to finish this series so I can just say, oh yeah, I read Of Poseidon and Of Triton and Of Neptune. It's actually a really cool storyline, and I hope you guys actually want to read it because then I can actually talk to someone about it because none of my friends have. Next book is Linger by Maggie Steffavater. I don't even know how you pronounce your last name. I'm so sorry. But then again, most people can't pronounce my last name, so we're even. I read Shiver like in February, and it was really good. I really loved it, so I really want to continue with the series. This is the third book. I have Forever Over There. I'm pretty sure there's another book from don't even remember his name now. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm pretty sure there's another book to the series, and I really want to get this series over with because I feel the Shiver, I read it really, really fast and kind of at once. I read it in one night and I stayed up and I regretted it the next morning, but I did. And I really want to finish the series just so I can say, oh yeah, I finished that series because I'm pretty sure like everyone has read this series except me. I'm just like that outcast, like the second last book I have for this month's TBR is Dark Halo by Shannon Needham Moore. This is the third and final book to the Angel Eyes series. The first thing, it kind of goes in different perspectives. And the first one is Aaron, and if you have not read the series, he's kind of really, really, really annoying. And he's kind of like the first person that we look at in the book, and that kind of turned me off so much. I'm like, Abby, you must finish the series. You must finish this series. So I'm actually really excited to finish this series. This is the last book of the trilogy, and then I can say, oh yeah, I read that. The final book I have is Thunder by Bonnie S. Colton. This is actually like a last minute thing because I just got this yesterday, and my dog ate at the cover. I saw this, and I went to Corner Book yesterday, and I saw this like every single time I went to Corner Book, and I really, really wanted to read it. My mom's always like, no, Abby, you can't get books. I'm like, and then I finally explained to her the feeling of actually having the book with you. So I got this. This is the first book in the Stonebridge Chronicles. I'm gonna go back probably next week and get the second book to this. I'm pretty sure this isn't like a post-apocalyptic thing. I kind of read it and I kind of forgot about it, so I really want to read this. This is like a last minute thing. So this concludes my April TBR with this being the last book. It's actually really, really pretty. That concludes my March wrap up and April TBR. These are the books I plan on reading. I don't even know how much there is. It's based on right here. I'm sure there's a count. So yeah, these are the books I'm going to read in April. Hopefully all of them. And hopefully I don't skip some like I did this month. But yeah, so bye! My Twitter and website, like my blog, will be in the description below. All the Goodreads things for the wrap-up will be in the description below. And Ask, Instagram, and everything like that will be in the description below for me. So yeah, bye!